station. I'll get started and I'll start to explain this hack. So, in 3, 2, 1, go. So it's pretty obvious right from the start. This is Super Metroid rotated 90 degrees to the right. There's a few tricky wall jumps coming up. Alright, we got him. So yeah, this is pretty much the same as the regular Super Metroid, except it's rotated. There are quite a few minor differences. I'll explain them as we get to them. A lot of the rooms that were quite difficult in the original game are now super easy. Others that were really easy are really, really difficult, so this completely changes the game up. Early game is pretty much the same. Get morph ball, bombs. The same as every Super Metroid game. Here we get the missile expansion. Yeah, wall jumping is pretty much essential for this hack. So here's the biggest route change to begin with, as you come down and get this energy tank. And the reason for that is, first of all, we don't get Varia. And secondly, you kind of need a lot of energy for what comes late game. If you've not seen this before, I won't spoil it. And that's where the wall jumping comes in. The estimate for this game is pretty much the same as the regular Super Metroid. There's no series, so that's straight away 2 minutes advantage. But also a lot of the rooms are just falling. So it sort of evens out a bit. There's not really a lot to explain early game. Alright, so this room. I'm actually going to fire an extra missile there. And that's because if you have 5 missiles during Bomb to Reso, he does a different attack and he gets stuck in this wave attack. I don't know what you call it. And he didn't drop many missiles. There we go. So I shoot one missile to avoid him doing that attack. And I hate that room. If you get knocked off by them bugs, they become almost impossible to get past because they home in on you. So it's important to get up there first try. Roll up Terminator. And get E-Tank number 2. to run past them. Health doesn't really matter at this point. I didn't mean to morph there. So we're going up to the early supers room. This is the second very brutal room if you make a mistake. So I'll try not to. Okay, that's good. Now I want to shoot the top two waivers coming down. Okay, perfect. So that's another room with them waivers become impossible to predict, so if you mess up once, you can lose a good 5 minutes in that room. Coming down into Pink Prince Star. Again, this part of the run is just a bit of item collecting. You want to try and beat this block, get charge beam and get out before the block respawns. That doesn't help. So the first half of the game is pretty much Super Metroid but rotated. Oh, we still made it. And then the second half is a speedrun in its own right. It becomes completely different. Really cool deboost here. And into a tower. Okay, so what I'm doing here is essentially backtracking. The boss order is Phantoon first, but there's one item that's, I'd say, almost essential for the speedrun. It saves so much time, and that's high jump. So I am literally backtracking all this way just to get that one item. You do get an E-tank on the way, which is a nice bonus. And also an extra missile pack. Get in the door. And now we go all the way back. You might think it loses a lot of time, but the amount of you lose minutes, like leaving red ship if you don't have high jump. You'll see why when I get there. Yeah, the water physics is why you need high jump. This tube becomes important later on, but we'll get to that. So the thing about water is it isn't rotated. So water and acid and lava all still, nice deboost, behave as they should. And this becomes important in lower Norfair. We're gonna get power bombs now. And also another important thing is the way water is calculated in the game. It's measured from the top down. So some rooms will have a lot more water than what you remember, and that's because the game measures the space between the roof and the water and fills the rest. So it fills it from the that line down with water, if that makes sense. And here's the best trick in the game. Ocean Fall. And here we go. Still falling. And now we head to Fantoon, the first boss. You take care of it the same way as you do with New Route any %. I guess the biggest difference is you have all this energy. And you can clip through boss doors, but only boss doors, the Ghidoras. While they're sort of in a flashing state, the door isn't there, it's hard to explain. So we're going to be doing a Doppler here. And we get a slow pad. So I'm going to be just going for a free round here. You have less space in which to Doppler. So it's a 2-round becomes that much more difficult. And slow. Flame's got in the way then. He's dead now. There we go. Fantoon's taken care of. So yeah, a 2-round becomes pretty difficult with this because of the smaller space you have to work in. So I usually just go for a standard 3-round. Really bad super drops there, but power bombs are good. Five power bombs is pretty important here for saving time, because you can use them like this. If you don't, you have to shoot out all those blocks manually. And here we can use a power bomb again because we have 5. Full health is really good here because it means these enemies are all going to drop ammo rather than health. Missed. Okay, I was trying to do a nice spark. I'll just open the door regularly. I was trying to kill that enemy and then open the door at the same time, then deboost off the spark there, but I messed up. So this room is the reason why high jump is important, because without high jump you cannot make these ledges here. So you have to go a different way, which basically means wall jumping off the roof or off the left hand side ledges. And you can lose upwards of a minute in that one room alone. And that's not the only room where high jump is important. And now we wait. So elevators, this bowling chorizo, whatever it is, all take less time than the original game. They're a lot shorter. Which I guess is a good thing, but it means you have less downtime. So now we have gravity. That is extremely important for late game, mostly for the damage reduction it does. I now take a quarter damage from enemies and from acid and lava. Oops. And now we're going straight to the dragon. So ammo is really important here, because that dictates how long you have to farm for. I have really bad supers here, so I'm going to have to farm for a good few seconds. And here you see I have just enough supers, just enough power bombs to open every block that I need to. Oh yeah, so he took the gates out. Originally, it was because they didn't work sideways, and then I think he decided to leave them out to open up the routing options. So I'm going to farm to full here. So I want 25 and 15 ammo wise. There we go. Health doesn't matter because we're about to get another retank. Okay, this is E-tank number 4. So we do not get speed booster in this hack. There is nowhere it becomes useful. I think there's 2 spots where you can charge a shine spark and it actually saves time. Okay, that got in the way of opening the door. So we have to defeat Dragon with ammo. And that's kind of a nightmare for a speedrunner. Again, we can click through the boss doors there, so... We're going to leave the top turret on because it's rarely a problem. My health isn't the best here, but it shouldn't be a problem. So we're going to wait for the last guy to disappear, the last baby Dragon. And start shooting him. ammo here. Oh, and he's dead. Okay, that was lucky. I had just enough ammo. I thought I was going to be a little short. So that was a really, really good Dragon there. And that's why I farmed to full, because farming Dragon can be a nightmare. Shoot the door. So space jump when you're underwater has 4 frames of cooldown before you can space jump again. If you're out of water, it has about 40 frames. I believe I need 6 supers here, so here we go. And now we get plasma. Plasma is important for the damage it does to both Ridley and Mother Brain. That's why we get this. Ah, and it hit me through the wall. Now we're going to head all the way back down to North Air to do Ridley. You see me hugging the left there, entering that door and deliberately taking a hit. That's to fix the door transition. You'll notice doors move every time I go through them. And so you want to jump in the doors in a certain way to position the camera so that they move as little as possible, which saves time. Still not going for Kraid. It is actually faster to wait and get Kraid after ice. And the reason we leave Ice Beam until now is because it creates a lot of lag in the game. It does do extra damage to bosses and to enemies, but it also creates lag. I believe it's because of that little trail of ice it leaves. actually have full power bombs for a change. That doesn't normally happen. And we get Wave Beam. Again, it's for the extra damage it does, but also because it allows you to shoot through walls. Which saves a lot of time late game. It's not so important, that ability, early game. No gate, so we're taking the back entrance. And I have just enough supers. Avoid these guys, it's not necessary there, I have plenty of health. So here's where you see the acid making a difference and why Gravity Suit is so important, because you take a quarter damage during that acid. I was supposed to freeze that guy in a certain place so I could wall jump off it, but didn't work out. Not much of a time loss. Nice super. We kill those guys because it reduces a lot of lag. I mean, a huge amount. This room takes a lot of people by surprise. I have to kill that guy now because I fell down. You enter the room and there's just lava. This is the part that catches people out when they play rotation for the first time. It's important there to enter the room from the middle so that those guys don't kick you on the way in, and you can do that strat, which is really cool. Again, jump through the eye door. And Ridley's AI is so broken here. 20 shots. This is all he does. And he's dead. So I'm going to jump up here now, which triggers his end sequence. There we go. You saw me not angling down there and shooting because the shots don't always hit when he's beneath the floor. And then the second part about that fight is normally in Super Metroid you see people get grabbed by Ridley. But there's two reasons why we don't do it in rotation. One of them is because... Oops. Alright, I took a few too many hits there. Is because when he grabs you, he can actually drag you under the floor. Although I believe that's patched out, I'm not 100% certain. And the second reason, it's actually quicker not to get grabbed, because when he grabs you, he drags you over to the right hand side of the screen. You can actually trigger Ridley's death that way in vanilla as well, by being above him and breaking out spin. But because you're more than likely below Ridley in vanilla, tried to hitbox him there. I have to shoot that door after the camera scrolls up. Otherwise the shot just disappears. Oh well, no big deal. It's nice to save a bit of health here, but it's not essential. And now we're finally gonna go and defeat Kraid. Don't break out a spin, that wastes a lot of time. Farm my power bombs to full here. Oh, we got the one pull through there. That is a really hard trick to do, where you can space jump all the way through. Some really cool. I love Kraid's lair in this hack. There's some really cool tricks, like that. Using ice to freeze one guy and then K going through the other, or clipping through the other. And we're going to try and clip the eye door here. Got it. So we're going to deliberately take damage to reduce lag here, and that's because when you're taking damage, the game only draws Samus every frame, or every other frame. And Kraid's dead. Collect a bit of ammo here. That's quite hard to do because of the camera scroll. Nice. And we got that strat as well. Freezing the guy after laying a powerbomb saves you falling down. And there we freeze that guy to save falling down. Kraid's lair is really cool. Let's shoot. And I believe this is the final E-tank of the game. We have 7 now. full on power bombs. Now this is really tricky if you're new to rotation. You have to break open this tube. It helps if you wall jump. You have to break it open without falling back down. That should be good. And that's pretty much us done. We're gonna head straight to the Golden 4 now. And defeat Mother Brain. Sorry, Golden 2. Lay a power bomb there because there's actually a key hunter that dive bombs down on you as soon as you go through that, and he can knock you down and be a bit of a troll, so it's easy just to lay a power bomb. The rolling up Terminator is a lot harder to do with high jump. It just looks weird. You gotta tap the button really lightly. And the Golden 2. So people often ask why is it the Golden 2, and the reason is when Smile User, who created this hack, he rotated it, and half of these two are actually, I believe, background layer 2, and then Phantoon and Ridley are sprites. It was how Nintendo, or the developers, got around the sprite limit on the Super Nintendo. So half of them are sprites, half of them are background layer 2, so when he rotated them, only half of them rotated. So he just took the others out. That's also why you see Kraid's body when you enter the room, because Kraid's body is background layer 2, which allows them to have bigger enemies than Crocomire. Satorian's fun. I laid my bomb way too high there. And we got it. That saves us falling all the way down. Room 2 is pretty straightforward. Room 3 is really good. And we're really good on ammo, so I'm going to do the fast strat of room 4. So I waited there because I missed the cycle by falling down at the start. So I was using the invisibility frames to get through that hopper. That hopper actually does a lot of damage. I didn't make it up to the platform. Right, the Metroid skip's not possible. It's even a task cannot do it, so you have to save and refill, which is good if you're on world record pace, and which I'm not right now, but there's less pressure because you don't have to get the Metroid skip. Really good ammo at this point. And we have loads to spare. So I have no backup save, so hopefully I won't die here. "20 shots, it's usually not much of a problem. Although you have less space in which to do it. And it should be dead now. Yes. So I can actually do the stand-up. What I need to do here is wiggle the D-pad. There we go. And get myself down to less than 1 E-tank. You can also do that with Varia, but it's a lot more difficult. So what you want to do is lower your health before Mother Brain triggers another rainbow or another attack. And then you want to be in the air when the Metroid appears, and when it detaches, I believe it is, from Mother Brain. And also when it explodes. Those are the 3 points where you either want to be in the air or not doing anything, not shooting. It's important for Mother Brain not to miss any shots here, because the baby doesn't die until it's taken so many hits. Yeah, let's play it safe. And he's down. That's pretty much it. We do the escape now. About a minute away from finishing. So with the escape, Smile user actually added a few extra bits in. Like this bomb block. And then there's some crumble blocks in here. There. And that's just to make the escape a little less tedious. The crumble blocks there are actually an Easter egg he put in. And when I asked him about why he put them in, he said because nobody goes left. And I was speedrunning this game for 8 months before I found it, before I went left. I assume we're killing. Right, that was a bit awkward. And yeah, that's it. That's rotation. That wasn't bad to say. I've not played this since GDQ at the beginning of January. So that wasn't too bad of a run. A few sloppy mistakes, but I don't know if we're waiting for DForce or not. It depends how far behind the stream is. So if you want to get into this game, if you want to play it, MetroidConstruction.com is where you want to head. It's in the forums under completed hacks. There's a rotation. Download there, an IPS patch, and then you just need a copy of Super Metroid and you patch it onto that. I'd suggest checking it out, even to play casually. It's a really good game. Hopefully I haven't spoiled it too much here if you've watched this. There's still a lot you can discover. You haven't seen the Crocomire area yet. That's really good to discover. I don't recommend going there straight away, but so 100% of this is really fun. There's some really tricky items to get. And there's also some other really good Super Metroid hacks in this marathon. I think we've had redesign already. Project Base is in here somewhere. I don't know if these have been yet or not. I think Project Base has already happened. But if you want any Super Metroid hacks, MetroidConstruction.com. They also have a Discord where you can ask them about it, or if you want to get into hacking yourself. Rotation will always be my favourite. It's a shame the credits aren't sideways actually. I wonder if he'll do that in a future update. This is actually in beta. A few things you'll notice that the high jump platforms are in the wrong place. The the climb platforms are in the wrong place. The missile in high jump is slightly off. I believe he's changing these all in the newest beta. It's pretty much bug free now, I'd say. So at least there's that. It's perfectly playable as it is. Yeah, rotated credits and a rotated title screen. That would have been cool. So here it is. I want to see them all in chat. Everyone spam DForce. DForce! So I don't know what's up next, but that's Super Metroid Rotation. I hope you all enjoyed it. And yeah, that's it from me. See you later, guys. Thank you for watching and tuning in to the SNES Superstars Marathon.